Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. In this episode, we're going to dive into Newtype lore and how it relates to the recently released Requiem for Vengeance. I noticed in a lot of the videos I've had, the comments tend to focus on there being errors in the lore and the accuracy of Newtypes during Requiem for Vengeance, as if they didn't exist during that time or was minimized or no one knew about them. But there really is a lot in the original Mobile Suit Gundam that talks about the Newtype lore as it relates to Requiem for Vengeance. So let's dive in. One of the earlier scenes in Requiem for Vengeance happens to be in the first episode where Aria is sensing something. We then get a high-pitched whine, as the subtitles show, and it zooms in on her face because she is sensing trouble. And she yells, "Take cover," as the explosions go off in the Federation base that had been taken over by Zeon. And then we get the high-pitched whine again. We see her reacting to something that she is sensing, which is the Gundam EX coming from the background, which is an awesome scene. And what is interesting is that it does take the Gundam EX a second before it tries to take out Solari. This could be the pilot being a Newtype, sensing that there is a mother on this other end. Now, that part of Requiem for Vengeance took place in November, beginning of November. And during this time in the original Mobile Suit Gundam, we have where the White Base crew had met up with other Federation forces. And you will see here, by General Revel here, you will leave here for Jaburo to undergo Newtype testing. Because at this point in the war, it is well known that Newtypes do exist and they're being used as weapons. And we could see here in the history, the Flanagan Institute was sponsored by the Principality of Zeon, which was established in June of UC 0079 at Boulder Bay Colony of Neutral Side 6 to investigate the Newtype phenomena. And then we even have in the original that something's going on in the Mirai. She's sensing something. She's got a strange feeling, something strange around Confeda, which is Solomon, if that kind of helps you get a time frame. But what's interesting about that is we're seeing this sort of the way the Newtype abilities are being expressed. We saw how, Aria Solari is just sensing something. She doesn't know how to react. And same thing with Mirai and how she's acting. In fact, earlier in Mobile Suit Gundam 3 from the movie trilogy, but also in the episodes, Sayla just all of a sudden is like, Char's coming. Even saying no doubt about it, it's definitely him. And Mirai even asking, how do you know? And then sort of that Newtype uncertainty of the I just, which are just a few of the examples in the original Mobile Suit Gundam of how characters act as Newtypes, where they just sense something, they have a feeling, and they know they have to act on it. In episode 5 of Requiem for Vengeance, this is when Alfie, Solari, and the team are walking to the Federation base to take the GMs. And, Solari's just saying, hey, I'm glad you have so much confidence in my skills, Alfie, but he's like, skills got nothing to do with it. That Newtype ability is gonna make the difference. Newtype, give me a break, Alfie. So while it is known, and even she understands what that is, she's saying, Newtype, what's Newtype? She's saying, give me a break. So it is known by this time throughout Federation and the Principality of Zeon of the existence of Newtypes. But then you get others that are like, well, what's a Newtype? And in here, I like the explanation they give because it kind of ties in with, I guess, more of the ideology of the Principality of Zeon, that Spaceoids are evolving beyond humans. And some things we can look at here are, for instance, the machinery, the Brow Bro, not to be confused with Frau Bo. I mean, these names are really hard to understand. This was in December of 0079. This is one of the Zeon Saikamu equipped mobile weapons, mobile armors. So by December, they already had machinery that was able to pick up, abilities from Newtypes. I mean, we got the Elmeth, for example. And even the high mobility Saikamu system Zaku, who we even had a character from Thunderbolt pilot. Another Newtype that also happens to have pink hair. That was another confusing complaint about Requiem for Vengeance. But anyway, Anna Rose Rosenheim, also a Newtype in the Zeon army. And we have Werner Holbein, hopefully I'm saying that right, which in a kind of a related series, because it's the last CGI series that Bandai came out with, Mobile Suit Gundam MS Igloo, which I enjoyed, even with some of the strangeness that's going on in there. But here's another Newtype that existed during that time. So really the main takeaways here are the fact that in Requiem for Vengeance, it is lore accurate with how it's portraying Newtypes. Some people didn't really understand them, some people just don't believe it, but we could see people emerge, someone like Solari, who is leader of her own specialized squadron within the Zeon army in Azaku 2, and those characteristics could lead to someone that is a Newtype with enhanced abilities. But because she was like on Earth and not in space, this may have somehow interrupted maybe her getting access to Saikamu equipment or using her or knowing to use her for any sort of Saikamu or Newtype, cyber Newtype abilities in a mobile suit. And then as we saw in the original Mobile Suit Gundam, it was where during the second part of the trilogy, which I guess it's in the middle of the original series. You have Newtype testing going on, which then this would be around that time, September, October, leading to November of UC 0079. And we know that the Principality of Xeon had the Flanagan Institute put in place in June of 0079. So again, this goes back to the Newtype abilities sort of already being known and being accurately portrayed in Requiem for Vengeance. It's kind of interesting to think, though, after the 1 Year War, of what occurred where, a lot of those scientists got folded in, from Zimad Zionic, got folded in to Anaheim Electronics. And it's not like we see that many more like Psychomu or Cyber Newtype style equipped mobile suits. We do see like the Psycho Gundam, for instance, and the Titans especially are utilizing that technology because they're more for bad, good maybe. But it's also interesting to think at that time, could there be some leaders within the Federation that are like, we do not need to be using this technology. This is not good. Almost like nuclear weapons. After World War II, you get Nazi scientists folding into, the US government, including NASA. And maybe was there something there about, okay, yeah, this stuff is bad. We can't continue to produce these types of weapons. But then some way these weapons get produced anyway, because especially later on in UC Gundam lore, we get a lot of mobile suits that really make use of Newtypes. Look at the whole unicorn system that was going on there with the NTD system. And they even locked that up just so it's not in use anymore. So it's very interesting to see this evolution of Newtype lore from the original Mobile Suit Gundam, and as it's tied directly into Requiem for Vengeance, it makes sense, but then as it moves on in the future of UC. And I know some people, even myself to a degree, it's like sometimes I don't care as much about the Newtype stuff as I do just seeing the mobile suits, seeing the conflict, seeing how these badass pilots are going to fight in war. But it's a cool level, I guess, that you can add on top of Universal Century lore, because sometimes the Newtype abilities do what I guess they're almost the good guys of the universe are kind of asking for, a way to understand each other better in the future so we don't have conflict. And it seems like the Newtype abilities are a way to do that. The problem is when new abilities come out that allow us to do more, people want to use them as weapons. And so I think that's why it's very interesting the way the Newtype phenomena is used within Mobile Suit Gundam. Anyway, I hope you found that to be interesting. I really wanted to dive into some of that lore, how it's utilized when it comes to Newtypes in Requiem for Vengeance, and how it completely matches what's going on in the original Mobile Suit Gundam, staying true to the source material and just adding another cool story to Gundam Universal Century lore. Let me know what you think below. Do you have any other cool tidbits about Newtypes that maybe went on earlier during the 1 Year War, or are there any things that Requiem for Vengeance did that kind of contradicted the Newtype lore? Because I think I covered it, but could be wrong. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk later.